Hey everyone, Jason here with Phase Shift Games, and super excited because in the mail today I got this box. Inside this box should be the pre-production copy of Widget's Workshop. So we are going to check out everything right now. So let's open it up. I'm especially excited about this one because of things like what we did with the neoprene mats, the special bag that we constructed, which has a special flap so you can store everything together, and so on. And obviously this game has those really unique transparent cards. So I am really exceptionally excited to see how this came out. So here we go. Now let's take a look. And again, this is the pre-production copy. This is not the mass production copy, which is why it looks strange with all this weird wrapping. This is the way manufacturers send us prototypes, or not prototypes, but pre-production copies and samples. It looks like this. This is not the mass production copy. All right, should have everything in it. It should have the mats, the bag, the game, the expansions. This should be everything. Possibly including a little bit of Dungeon Drop stuff that I had them print at the same time. We'll see. All right, they definitely wrap things well. Well, all right. I don't know what order I want to go in, but clearly we have the game. We've got expansions. We've got mats and the bag. I'm going to save that for last because I actually think that's one of the most exciting things that we were able to pull off. Oh, well, let's look at this one first. Many of you know what this is. We ran out of these in our Germany warehouse. The dungeon mats for Dungeon Drop. Unrelated to Widget. Well, it's kind of related to Widget's Workshop because it's in the same universe. But this is just a reprint of the dungeon mats, and it looks to be perfect. All right, but that's not what you're all here to see, so let's move that to the side and keep going. All right, here we go. We have these. Let's start with the game, because then these things, of course, go into the game. So, here's the main game box, which is a little smaller even than my prototype that I had right there at the beginning of the video. And already, yep, you got that nice shimmer there with the spot UV on all of our different little assets, the logos. Same thing on the side, and this is the side, of course, if you were to hold it on your shelf, put it on your shelf vertically for people who like to vertically stack things. Excellent. Yep. All right, that all looks good. Box bottom. Got all of our boring information, but we need it. Good. Quality, solid. Nice matte finish. All right, let's open it. Let's get to the interesting stuff. Our rule book. We put on, I don't even know if I ever told anyone this, but we put on the linen finish. We didn't have to. We didn't tell you we were going to do it. We just did it. So the pages have that nice kind of linen feel to them. Prepare to drop some parts and build awesome constructs. Robots and golems. All right, color depth looks beautiful. There is a nice background image of the gears, very faint, kind of in the dark background, just enough to give it a nice little texture. And the colors on the actual graphics that are showing through are nice, are popping really nice. It's only an 8-page rule book, so it is short and sweet. Looks great. Nice little player aid on the back there. And you'll see we put the player aid, that and that, on your turn, and the construct scoring. We put that in a bunch of places, which you're going to see more of momentarily. So, okay, rulebook looks great. Then we also have a sheet, a rules sheet for Construct Chaos. Why do we do this? Because we only needed this front and back. It was not enough to warrant, whenever you add to a rulebook, you have to add 4 pages. It comes in 4s. And we just didn't need that much space. What we do have, though, are 3 things. These expansions also all have the same size rule sheet and the same type of paper. So we decided to keep all 3 of those formatted the same. As you can see, they all look the same. The only difference is this one doesn't have a barcode because it's inside the box. So Construct Chaos is one of the game modes where you can play in real time, and it's just a simple rule sheet that you can keep in the box with the main rule book. And it's kind of like an optional module, just like these things. So it kind of made sense to separate it out. All right, so that rule sheet looks great. All right, then we have, this was one of the newest additions. Where's the little, there it is. These are the Bay cards. All right, so this is the side. Oh, look at that color. I love it. All right, so these are the Bay cards. So each player would have 3 of these, a 25-30, a 15-20, and a 5-10, right? And so in front of each player, you're going to lay these out numerically in order, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And this is now, as you are drafting, if you don't have the neoprene mats, as you're drafting part cards, you're going to put those part cards onto this little mat. And some of them will hang off, and that's fine. The point is just to have a nice way to structure your 3 bays so that you can see, and you have little icons here. So like that's the torso, that's the left arm, that's the right arm, left leg, right leg. So it just gives that nice way to structure in the base game box so you don't need the mats. Of course, the mats are going to be even better for play if you have them and want that kind of full experience. But at least this way, in a nice portable box, you still have some representation of the bays and where to put your parts. And then for scoring at the end, once you score a robot and you know it's worth 15 points, you just put it right above the 15. Wherever that is on your table, you just put the stack of cards above the 15. So this was a great solution, and we built in 15 cards, 3 for each player, into the base game box. We did not change the price of the game. We just put that in there. And on the back is another portion of that the play raid, like from the back of the rulebook. So easy access to the construct scoring, turn order, and a nice graphic of Widget. Beautiful. Those are, I think, going to be super well received. And that takes us to the whole point, which are these. I can't wait to open those. We did also put in a nice little, I mean, I say nice. These things are really simple, right? And a lot of people just throw them out. But in this case, I thought that this little divider would be really nice because it allows you to have 2 stacks of the cards and then all the other full things go on top. Just a nice way to keep things separated. Up to you. If you hate it, throw it out. I will not shed a tear. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at the cards. One of the things that I'm looking for here is they should not stick. I say this because the prototype that I had made through a prototype company here in the United States, this was not a normal type of card for them. So the way they made it, they were able to make the prototypes, which was great, but the cards all stuck together. And look at this. They're sliding around so smoothly in my hand. I can barely keep them together, in fact. What that means is that they're going to shuffle really well, and they're going to drop on the table really well. I mean, I'll just simulate really quick here. Boom. Look at that. You got a nice spread already. I didn't even shuffle them front and back like I was supposed to. Some are going to be face up, some are going to be face down, but boom, they don't stick at all. All right, so now let's look closer at these things. How do they look? How do they feel? Well, let me just tell you, I am through the roof. I am to the moon right now. I am loving what I'm seeing. The coloring of the part that, of course, is not transparent is gorgeous. It's vibrant. Of course, you have the transparent part in the middle, the part showing through. We've got the letters for the name. And on the back side, we also made everything much darker than in the prototype. So you can really see when they're on the table like this, you can really see which ones are face up and which ones are face down. That's something we wanted. You're not supposed to be able to tell exactly what the piece is. So all you can see here is like a shadow of the piece. You know it's an arm just because of placement, but you can't tell what it is. And yeah, that is vibrant. The CE there, that was another problem with our prototype. The lettering was harder to see. So let's see if I can find a full set really quick on camera. How long will I give it before? Okay, there we go. I was about to give up. And we have Top Taste. T-O-P-T-A-C-E. Top Taste. And there he is. A little bit of a blur in the camera. How do I get the focus a little better? There we go. I think you can see him there. But suffice to say, it all works exactly as we hoped and expected. I got nothing to say but good thing. There's nothing here. There's no notes that I need to give back to the manufacturer that I can see. I'm going to go through everything and look closer, but best I can tell. Oh, that's a C. Small letter C. I was struggling to see what that was because my eyes are old. I love this. Okay, I'm going to push this to the side. Let's keep going because I don't want to take up all night, but man, that's awesome. That is so exciting and compelling. Okay, let's go on to Boblin Bites Pizza Break. It's a rule sheet and 5 pizza cards. So there's the rule sheet, exact same size as the one you saw earlier. Barcode because it'll be on its own. Rules. All right, you can see there, you could probably just put them inside the front cover of the rule book, keep it all together. Okay, pizza! As with the other cards, exactly what I'd expect in terms of quality, color depth. The cut is exactly right. And notice on the back, it is also just pizza. It is meant to be the exact same thing, front and back. And it is. Cool. So pizza is perfect. Pizza break. Okay, nothing else to say on that. Then we have arcane accessories. Once again, rule sheet. All looks great. And then these guys. Look at that. Adds the strength element. Backside is the same treatment where it's just the dark gray. We actually have to pay more to do dark gray here instead of white. If you're familiar with other games that are card crafting games with see-through parts, when you flip it over, usually those are white, pure white. I didn't realize we'd get charged extra to make it a different color, but because of the process and the way they do it, they said it was going to be a little bit extra, but thought that was the right answer. And so robot arms. Then we have our multi-element ones. Here's fire, water. I super love these. I just love the way the art came out. And then when you put it, I should have kept my robot. But when you put it behind your actual robot that you've constructed, then you see those elements shine through too, which is so awesome. Earth and fire. Air and earth. And water and air. Those are all perfect. I'm almost getting I feel a little awkward saying everything is perfect. Usually there's some notes, but so far, not here. Okay, and then for those who backed both Widget's Workshop and Super Battlemon, which was our partner collaboration project during the backer kit Pocketopia. This is the special promo card. It's called the Ether Spirit. It will give you, if you add this accessory, which follows the normal rules for arcane accessories, that's why it has the same icon there at the top. If you add this card to your robot, it counts as a wild symbol for the element. It counts as a wild archetype, and makeup is organic versus mechanical. So it's a wild of each of those, but the total robot gets a -5 score. So you really want to maximize use of those wilds to have each of those increase the score, and then you get a -5 on the grand total. So the whole thing could be a maximum of a 25-point robot. In any case, he's a cute little guy, and that's artwork straight from Super Battlemon. I think it was called the Pandemonium card in Super Battlemon. In any case, that's a promo card, and if you didn't back both games, but you want one of these, find me at a convention. We might just be able to hook you up. Okay, that takes us to the mats and the bag. I am going to prepare for this really quick by simply, I don't care if anything's in the box. I'm going to get the box ready. All right, take a look. First off, actually, I should look at this. This, we needed the barcode sticker because this is a product that we're selling separately. And it's actually bigger than I expected. I wonder if they increased the size. It's a big sticker. Whatever. Sticker's not what you care about. Boom. That color depth I actually have right here. I was really impressed with our prototype mats. This is the prototype one, not from the manufacturer. These are the ones that I sent out to all the previewers, and you heard rave reviews from the reviewers about the mats and how gorgeous they are and how much they love playing with them. Well, just look side by side. The color depth on the real ones is so much better. And we did darken the gears. That was a request to make it clear that when you put a card on one of these spaces, that you can really see the difference between the lightness of the cards and the darker ones that you haven't yet put something on. Where would this one go? This would be right leg right there. So the darkness there, and then of course we have our player aid again, and you can read everything very nicely. The text is coming through nice and crisp, and of course our turn order cheat sheet again, and along the bottom, 0, 5, 10, all the way over to 30 are the scoring spaces. And the green just really pops. The whole thing is beautiful. Now, it's 1 of 5. Let's get this piece of garbage out of here now. We don't need that anymore. Okay, it's really not garbage, but you know what I mean. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you get the full set of mats, you will get 5 of these. Oh, it's also embroidered edge. Really wanted to up the deluxe quality of these. And it is thick, I think 2 millimeters, which is, these days, it's probably more standard, but it is a nice thick mat. And now, the moment of truth. The bag. The bag, which is meant to hold the 5 mats and the box. And it is printed with the logo, Widget's Workshop. Now, interestingly, I gave them the logo with the white outline. There's no white outline there. I may have to talk to them if they got the right logo file or not. I also don't know if I care too much, but I did intend, just like the box has the white outline there. I think that's the one I gave them. I gotta check it. But let's see. Now, when I saw them give me a video, the manufacturer, they took these and then they did this and then they did this. So they kind of like folded it twice. It's not how I would have assumed to do it. I'm going to do it the way I assume I would do it. which is a roll. I guess you could do whatever you want. I think it would work in either way, but I'm going to do a roll. And whether you roll it inside out or outside in, that's up to you. These go right into the bag. Nice little drawstring at the top there. And then this guy, oops, I just bumped my phone. Sorry about that. There we go. And the game box goes right in there. Now I can see maybe why they folded it the way they did, because by just putting that in there, it does push down on the roll the way I did the roll. So let me try it the other way and see if that is better. So the way they did it, I don't know as it matters too much, but they did that and then that. So it creates a little bit more of a flat style. And that might be the way the manufacturer intended this to work, so that it would allow the game box to go in freely without kind of, without it feeling too tight. And I agree, that is a more natural, well, whatever the case, you have options. And take a look, there it is, standing. You can stand this combined unit on a shelf, and you've got the game stored with all of the expansions, of course, stored with the 5 mats, all in one nice, tidy package. And we are really proud of how we were able to pull that off. In this particular one, I think the logo's a little off-center. Maybe, maybe not. Well, I'll work with them on that. But aside from a couple little tweaks with the logo on the bag, that is Widget's Workshop. That's the pre-production copy. I will go through everything with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that we are really solid. But hope you like what you see. I certainly do. And thanks so much for backing. Thanks so much for your support and excitement. And with that, I will wrap it up for today. There is a Gen Con preview up, and Widget's Workshop is one of the items. We're offering con pickup. If you are going to Gen Con, you can pick up your copy of Widget's Workshop. Not the mats. I won't have the mats there because we're going to airlift in a couple boxes of these, but we won't have the full mats, I don't think. But if all you're getting is the base game and some of the expansions, even if you're getting the mats as well, you can pick up the game and the little expansions. I'll have them there. And if you can go out to the Gen Con preview on Board Game Geek, then please give the Widget's Workshop entry a thumbs up, because that's what other people see. And we want people to see this game. We want them to be excited about it. Come by our booth, check it out, and maybe pick up a copy. All right, with that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks so much again for all your support, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Take care. Bye.